Hey everyone, and welcome to the Hamilton Arts Awards. My name is Gavin Stevens, and I'll be the host and MC for this year's festivities. You might have seen me on CTV or the Comedy Network, possibly CBC, but I also host my own podcast called Uncolonized. Some of you might be thinking, Gavin, how come you're going into my ear holes and not in front of my eyeball places? That's because this year's award show is going to be a podcast. For those of you my age and a little bit older, a podcast is a radio play on the internet. Each episode, I'll be interviewing a winner, allowing you to get to know each and every one of these talented people. We had a lot of laughs, got to know the artists, and found out what each one of these talented people planned on doing with their award after the show. I had a great time hanging out with these people, and I hope you do as well. So without further ado, please enjoy the Hamilton Arts Awards podcast. And now please welcome Mayor Fred Eisenberger on behalf of the City of Hamilton.
Hello and welcome to everyone that's tuning in. I'm Mayor Fred Eisenberger, and I'd like to begin with a land acknowledgement. The City of Hamilton is situated upon the territory of the traditional Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which has an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes, and we further acknowledge that this land is covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase 1792 between the Crown and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Today, the City of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we recognize that we must do more to learn about the rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. So on behalf of the City of Hamilton and City Council, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this unique podcast-style presentation of the City of Hamilton Arts Awards. This is the 45th Arts Awards, an annual tradition of recognizing individual artists and arts community leaders for their excellence and contributions to our city's cultural vitality. While there is no replacement for an in-person celebration, I'm grateful we were able to find a way to safely announce and honor the achievements of the 14 artists and arts community leaders that will receive awards. So it is particularly important to celebrate the contributions and resiliency of artists, given the limitations placed on the arts industry as a result of the pandemic. As we look ahead and work towards recovery, I encourage all Hamiltonians to get out and support the arts once it's safe to do so. Arts are such a vital aspect of our economy and essential to our collective well-being. I would like to thank the many citizens who supported the 2021 Arts Awards, including nominators and the shortlisted nominees who worked to prepare their nomination packages, the Arts Sector Review Panel, and the final jury that thoughtfully reviewed each nomination and contributed their unique expertise to the process, and the sponsors for supporting the Arts Champion, Creator, and Lifetime Achievement Awards. And finally, thanks to all of you for tuning in to celebrate the arts community in Hamilton with us. Visit www.hamilton.ca/Arts Awards for details of this podcast series that will announce the award recipients throughout Hamilton Arts Week, which is June the 3rd to the 12th. Thank you and have a great time.
It's a really tough time. I'm sure you agree. Everyone's suffering. All the isolation, not being able to do the things that we did before that we took for granted. I miss going to the movies by myself. Ugh. I love going to the movies by myself. Last year I went to the movies. I went to movies so many times by myself. I saw The Joker by myself. It's a creepy way to spend an evening, isn't it? Some bald guy in the back in glasses yelling out every once in a while. That makes sense. There's a good point. Here's a tip if you plan on going to the movies by yourself. Here you go. If you want to get a whole row to yourself, all you need to do, if someone starts looking down at you at your row, you're comfortable in the middle there, just pull out some fruit and start peeling it with a knife. No one's sitting beside the guy peeling fruit with a knife. And bring out good fruit, like an orange, right? Like just start peeling an orange with a knife. That's creepy. Every once in a while, just eat off the knife, giving eyeballs to everyone. I learned that in Jackson Square. I went to see Star Wars. I saw a woman peeling fruit with a knife, and I was like, you go, girl.
All that being said, I have a podcast called Uncolonized. Each week, my friend Daniel Grant and I talk about social issues, political issues, pop culture issues, and racism in Canada, and we make it funny. I know that's hard to understand, but if you listen to it, you'll get it. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can get Uncolonized.
Hello, my name is Heather Kniebe. I'm a member of the jury for the 2021 Arts Awards. We appreciate the nomination of 18 individuals submitted by the public in this category, and the work of the Arts Sector Review Panel in developing an extremely strong shortlist of 7 nominees. All of the nominees have made significant contributions to their communities and the arts sector, and we appreciate their extraordinary service. In this podcast, you'll learn about the 4 recipients of the 2021 Arts Champion Awards. These individuals have shown exceptional commitment to supporting and building Hamilton's arts community, and we thank them for their contributions. Congratulations to all the award winners.
Judy Marcellus is a consistent supporter of the arts and culture sector, both as a business owner and an active volunteer.
Well, my name is Judy Marcellus, and I've had a passion for the arts, and in particular music, for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, growing up as the oldest of 6 kids in almost poverty in Winnipeg, I never had the opportunity to express that passion, notwithstanding being involved with school activities and music in that way. I did become very creative at one point in terms of sneaking into the local Y that had a piano in their basement. And I kind of started playing piano that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the time went on, I sang with my school, and with my first job, I took my first piano lessons. I will tell you that one of my first purchases as a real estate person here in Westdale was a piano.
So you're continuing to play?
I am. Again, I'm not good at piano. I have gone back to studying voice, however. Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, it's amazing. I really am enjoying it. It's
Mm-hmm.
When you have to study for exams and stuff, it can be a bit stressful.
Yeah.
But I'm really enjoying it. But in a perfect world, I would have loved to have been an opera singer. But It's not a perfect world, and so I've done all kinds of things over the years. Singing songs in theater. I've been in choir for as long as I can remember. So you just do the best you can, right?
Well, I mean, you're still pursuing the thing that you love, and I think that's I think that's good.
Absolutely. And from the standpoint of why I champion the arts, it's because I don't want anybody to go through what I did. If I can help anyone to realize their passion, to participate in something maybe they didn't have an opportunity to, that's really my goal and objective.
That's great. What does this award mean to you?
I think it warms my heart. And it means an awful lot to me in terms of being recognized in an area that, perhaps people don't even know I'm involved with. And the passion goes so deep for me that it really, as I said, it really warms my heart.
Do you have a place in your home to display the award? I believe it's a medal.
Well, absolutely.
Okay.
I have one wall that's kind of music focused, if you will.
Yeah.
And I look forward to actually displaying that.
I hope you're taking care of yourself during COVID. I hope you're mentally and physically doing well. What do you miss most about pre-COVID?
Oh my goodness, I miss the interaction of our music nights. As I think, I don't know if you're aware, but I run an interactive music night every Wednesday up at the Coach and Lantern, and have done that for, oh my goodness, through 3 owners in 20 years. where the band, I have a band. They're called the Noteworthies because each one of them are noteworthy in our community, and I'm just Judy. So I really, really miss getting together with them. I miss all the people that came in and they used to get up and sing and dance. And
Yeah.
I also ran what was called an event for Bob Kemp Hospice. It was called Paint the Town Red. And we did that annually to raise money for the hospice. And what was really interesting about it, I would get companies to buy a song, and the company, 5 or 6 members of a company, would get up and sing the song with our band. So it gave the company more than just exposure.
Yeah.
It gave them an opportunity to socially interact. It was so successful. I'm so proud of everybody that, Gavin, that was involved in that. Really, that was another thing that was very, very rewarding to me.
That sounds like a great charity because, like you said, you're not just like, hey, here's some money or whatever. You're in it. And like, I could imagine companies like weeks before preparing to sing this song. And yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
Well, not only would they prepare, they would arrange with me to come into the Coach and Lantern so that they could all get together and rehearse.
Well, you want to sound good. Like you don't want to mail it in. So you might as well, right? Like rehearse it.
Yeah. So it was just so much fun. And, you know, the fact that people would get up on the stage and they would sing with their colleagues. Oh my goodness. And you know what's really interesting about it? How many times I've seen people who you would have no idea that they had any musicality. They get up there and they just kill it. They were so good.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, another area that I'm so proud of is something called an instrument for every child.
I read about that. Yes.
Oh, well, having been someone who grew up in, as I said, almost poverty and never having the opportunity to have an instrument, I wanted to do something in the community to support this organization with the Hamilton Music Collective. It doesn't get any better than that for me.
Yeah, this is why you won this award for these things. What do you find is the defining characteristic of Hamilton for you?
I think it's the interaction between people. I've always been so comfortable at so many different levels. There's no social, financial, economic divide, if you will.
Okay.
You're willing to get involved. People accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
And, you know, there isn't that heavy judgment. I love Hamilton's interaction. As I said, I moved here from Winnipeg back in the 70s. Did the traditional female thing. I followed a man here.
I followed a woman here, so.
Oh, hey. It's a good club then. So, yeah, and, you know, it was a little adjustment at the beginning, but I have just fallen in love with everybody here and everything, you know, to participate and support and all of those things. I hope we're able to continue in Hamilton to build the infrastructure and the support that's necessary to engage and encourage all young people and some of us older people too.
Yeah.
To participate whatever way they can. Just love it, enjoy it, and go forward.
That's right.
Thanks, Gavin.
Nancy McGibbon Gray is a founding member and volunteer of the Carnegie Gallery.
I've moved here quite a while ago from London, England, where I worked in the arts, and I became involved with raising some funds for the Carnegie Library to save the building. And I've been involved with the gallery ever since. And then over the years, through my work at the bookstore, Brian Prince Bookseller, which was wonderful, I got involved with Gritlit and Telling Tales, which are fantastic Hamilton events. And I served on the Arts Advisory Commission for a couple of terms, which was also good education for me. And I served on the Ontario Trillium Foundation grant review team, which I also found very, very interesting because it was a broader scope for me in terms of what I was working on, because it was about everything that goes on in Hamilton. And Hamilton is an incredible city for volunteerism and helping people. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
What drives you to want to volunteer in the art scene? Like, what is it about?
Well, the arts have always been a part of my life. When I was a student at university, I was in the drama society. I loved working on the production part.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, I decided that I didn't want to teach, which is what I'd always thought I'd do, that I wanted to work in the arts. And so I found that there was this course in London called, and it was a newish kind of thing at the time, called Arts Administration. I did that, and music, books, and art are just a part of my life. And I love meeting people and just seeing what drives people to create what they do.
What does this award mean to you?
Well, I'm honored, and it means a lot because, well, the last couple of years I haven't been able to do as much as I would normally do.
Mm-hmm. This question is kind of a standard question I've asked everyone. Do you have a place in your home where you're going to display it?
Of course. I'll have it on the wall.
Okay. What room? Like your office or?
I think I'll have it above a desk in the living room that I love. And it's unusual. It was made by my great grandfather.
Okay.
And it's an unusual piece of furniture and I love it. So I'll enjoy looking at an award there.
That's nice. Okay. If in the next year or so we end up in like a Mad Max post-apocalyptic type world, would you consider trading the award for water or gasoline?
Water.
Okay, so you're not driving cars in this post-apocalyptic world. I love how you took that answer, that question very seriously. I appreciate that for indulging me. Do you have any projects you're currently working on?
I'm still working on things with the Carnegie because I'm the oldest continuously involved volunteer in the board. I'm concerned with getting the archives sorted because the story of the Carnegie's it's fun and it's interesting. Like we started with nothing and now we own this beautiful building and it's a beautiful space to show art. So I'm doing that. And I would volunteer with telling tales if we were able to have it. And I also do some house management for concerts for John Lang, but all that stuff's on hold.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how are you holding up during COVID?
Oh, like everybody, I'm a bit fed up.
Yeah.
But I'm not bored because there's loads to do, but I wish this would pass.
Absolutely.
We've got all these artists we've had to postpone their exhibitions, and you think all that work that they've put in to put these shows together, and then the public can't come and see it except virtually.
Yeah.
I want that to change, and I want to be able to go to concerts again because we have in Hamilton, we've got Hammer Baroque, which is an incredible opportunity to hear the best of early music, and well, that's on hold. I'm just waiting for things to go back.
We're getting closer, hopefully, knock on wood. What have you learned about yourself during this time?
That I'm not as self-sufficient as I thought I was.
Yeah.
But I've also learned that I've learned to love my walks in the conservation area. I've learned that every day needs to have music and books and my family. I miss, hanging out with my family and with my friends in the way we used to, like in the garden and with a glass of wine and good food and good conversation.
Yeah, I miss that too. What do you find is the defining characteristic of Hamilton?
That's a good one. I find Hamilton fascinating and I've learned, like I mentioned about the Trillium, working on the grant review team, but physically, I think Hamilton is so beautifully located. Like last week, I was up on the mountain and I was looking out across at the city, down to the lake. What a vista. We've got all of this variety of urban, rural. I've come to love Hamilton. I love Dundas because it's home, but my appreciation for Hamilton has grown so much over the years. I just think it's a very interesting environment.
It is. It's a very beautiful city. Well, I mean, that was it. But congratulations on the award.
Well, I'm very, very thankful, and I'm really honored. I do appreciate it because I've met so many wonderful people over the years.
Mhm.
I've been lucky to have such an interesting, rewarding life in my work.
Bradlee Henry has been helping Hamilton's Indigenous youth reconnect with their community through his traditional drumming and singing.
My name is Bradlee Henry. I do drumming, singing, work with kids also, teaching the teachings of the drum, how grateful we are to have a drum.
How did you get into this art form?
Ever since I was small, I want to say around 4 or 5.
How old are you now?
I'm 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I learned from my dad, Rod Nedagog.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot from him. My mom had a lot to do with it too.
What does winning this award mean to you?
It means it's at first I was kind of confused. At first I was really confused, but to really think about, like, I made history, it means a lot.
Mm-hmm. How come you were confused?
I just didn't really expect it.
Yeah. So it's confusion and shock that this happened.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Do you have a place in your house to display the award?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to tell me where or no?
My room.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're currently not in school. You're online learning?
Yeah, online, yeah.
Okay. Would you wear the medal during classroom?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I'm trying to get as many award winners to form a group to wear their medals wherever they go. And I'm recruiting you into that, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's a weird time, especially to be a young person like yourself. Are you taking care of yourself mentally during COVID and everything?
Yes, I am.
That's good. What do you miss most pre-COVID?
I miss going to powwows. Miss that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Going to powwows, like meeting all my old friend families.
It's got to be a hard time for you.
Yeah.
Have you learned anything about yourself though during this time?
Yes, I have. I learned a lot. I learned a lot on making lacrosse sticks.
Pardon? Sorry?
Making wooden lacrosse sticks.
Oh, wow.
And taught me a lot. Taught me a lot of patience and respect for the game.
Yeah. You make them all by hand?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. How long does it take you to make a lacrosse stick?
3 months.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. That takes a lot of patience, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made you want to get into making lacrosse sticks?
I was just disconnected. I was disconnected from, I had everything in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't practicing them, and I wanted to be a part of something bigger than just myself, because it's called the medicine game. We play the lacrosse
Mm-hmm.
for the creator, something a lot bigger than ourselves. And for me as a stick maker, it's an honor to, to be that guy to make lacrosse sticks for our people. That's the main reason why I continue to make lacrosse sticks.
Yeah, it's a very mature attitude to have.
Yeah.
As for someone who's 15. Yeah. What do you find is the defining characteristic of Hamilton?
Very Hamilton. My home.
Your home.
Yes.
Does that influence your work, like when you're working on your stuff?
Yeah, well, I make my sticks on 6 Nations.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come back home, it's like, it's like seeing my mom and my cousin, my sisters. It's like I never left home,
Yeah. Family's important.
So it's home.
Yeah. Okay, Bradlee, congratulations on the award. It's well deserved.
Thanks.
Erica Camiso has been a dedicated volunteer with McMaster Radio 93.3 CFMU since 2018.
So I'm Erica Commisso. And I have been volunteering / kind of working for CFMU specifically for 2 years almost. I volunteered there, did some on air stuff, and then eventually made my way into the music director position.
Oh,
And that has been a blast. Yeah, and other than that, I had some involvement with Vi Division, which is a semi professional hip hop dance crew in Hamilton. They're really awesome. So that's kind of a plug for them as well. Check them out.
what do you do for them?
So I actually used to dance with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was really fun. And then other than that, just kind of helped them out with any sort of promotional things or assistance in that regard that they needed. And then went back and taught class a couple of times as well.
What on-air shows did you host at the radio station?
I was hosting The Throwdown. Jamie Tennant actually was the host of that show for a few years.
Okay.
And then, he's a really busy guy. If you know Jamie, or if anyone knows Jamie, he's got lots on the go all the time. So he was looking for someone to fill in, and that's how my story there began.
Do you miss the on-air work?
Absolutely. Oh, so much. Yeah.
Do you ever do any dancing? Are you still like competing or no?
No, unfortunately. Sometimes, can get a little dancing in here and there. It's been a little hard, especially with the pandemic and studios being closed and all those things. I'm sure you yourself and probably the folks that are going to be listening to this can attest to how tough it's been in the art scene.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Have you ever settled any of your beefs with dance? Like maybe, someone, I don't know, at the dollar store didn't take a coupon or something. Ever thought about settling that beef through dance?
Settling my beefs through dance.
Yeah.
Great question. I don't think I've ever settled a beef through dance, but I feel like my dance career is not officially over until that occurs.
You have to do it.
You have to do it at least once. Like, grew up on Step Up, like
yep.
You have to.
I'm from the 80s. I'm a teenager in the 80s, so that's how we settled everything. Like everything.
Through dance.
Yeah. So what does this award mean to you?
Wow, that's a wonderful question. It means a whole lot when you get involved in things, and especially when you're volunteering your time. I think that a lot of the time, folks who put the energy into volunteering don't ever expect anything in return.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really wonderful to have support systems who see the work that you're doing and feel like, they want to let you know that, you deserve some sort of recognition. That's really, really wonderful. It also means a lot just because we have such an amazing community here in Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I grew up in a really small town just on the outside of the GTA-ish, and the art scene wasn't huge. And so when I came to Hamilton, it was just, so almost overwhelming, but in a really great way.
Yeah.
The amount of people that are like extremely supportive and really just want to see you thrive and get involved and make friends with you and network with you. So yeah, I guess in a nutshell, it really does mean a lot, especially from a community as amazing as this one.
That's good. Do you have a place in your home where you're going to display the award?
No, I don't know. I read a really funny article of sorts about where musicians and other art folks display their awards, and a lot of people said in the bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I thought that'd be really funny if for a couple of weeks I just put it somewhere in the bathroom, and then after that, I don't know, maybe in a special little box just for me.
I've been trying to convince other award winners to form a gang, wear their medals around town as a gang.
Oh my goodness.
I was thinking for you, my question, would you consider taking the other award winners' medals and becoming Hamilton's Mr. T?
That would be hilarious. Definitely would not take those awards away from other folks, but
okay.
But yeah, that would be so funny. I feel like maybe we could all, when times are better, get together and do something funky, take a couple pics or something.
Like an awards dinner. You guys can go out and yeah,
exactly.
Okay. That's a good idea. If you could have dinner with any artist from any time period, who would it be?
Whoa. Any artist from any time period. The first person that popped into my head, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of flack from this from art friends, is Tom York.
Why? Why would you get flack from Radiohead?
Because Gabe, like Radiohead is amazing. I'm a huge Radiohead person, but like I also feel like people who know me are probably like rolling their eyes at my response or laughing a little bit at the Tom York of it all. He's a little bit of an oddball. I feel like that would be a really interesting dinner conversation, if conversation at all. I feel like he would be the kind of guy who just like sat with you in silence.
Yeah. It would be either very serious or awkward dinner.
Yeah, absolutely.
What Hamilton restaurant would you use to cater this dinner?
Whoa, a Hamilton restaurant. Berkeley North, for sure. Great place. Great folks.
No one said Subway so far. No one I asked this question to. Okay, also, if you could have one cast from any HBO series to come by and bail you out of the dinner with Tom York, if it gets boring or creepy, who would it be?
Oh, no. How could you?
These are SAT questions.
This is it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Is this one of those SAT questions where you can like skip to the back of the book and then go back later? You know,
it's more of a Rorschach test, I think. It's the Rorschach test question. What do you find is the defining characteristic of Hamilton?
Whoa, defining characteristic. First word popped into my brain: passion. People are very passionate. Everywhere I go, doesn't matter if it's the art scene or otherwise. Lots of passion. That's the one.
Now a word from one of our amazing sponsors.
The Insight Foundation for the Arts is proud to sponsor the Arts Champion Award category of the Hamilton Arts Awards for 2021. This award recognizes individuals who are outstanding supporters of the arts in Hamilton as volunteers, advocates, or board members. The Insight Foundation is dedicated to enriching the lives of Hamiltonians by providing funding to visual and performing arts organizations each year. We're proud to have granted millions in funding to help sustain the important work of our arts organizations, from children's art and music programming to orchestral and choral music to the visual arts and more. Together, they help to make Hamilton a culturally vibrant city.
Hey everyone, that's episode 1. I hope you had a good time listening to all the Arts Champion Awards recipients. I know I did. The music in today's episode was by Paulo Leon Riaz, Tara Lightfoot, Dylan Hudecki, and Aline Felice. Illustrations by Michael Byers, Joan Krigsman, Maya McKeague, Michaela Rubik-Mazur, Meredith W. Park, and Robin Lightwalker. The City of Hamilton Arts Awards are presented during Arts Week, June 3rd to the 12th. To learn more about Arts Week or the Save the Arts campaign, visit hamiltonartscouncil.ca. Stay tuned for the next episode, coming up at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Production by Cobalt Connects, Lilt Films, and me, Gavin Stevens.